Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Train Station. Today, I have a very, very special guest with me. Good buddy of mine, Dejuan Jones, MLS.
What's up?
And so, a lot of people don't know that we actually we grew up playing soccer together on the same team. Lansing Gunners. And so, unfortunately for me, my career kind of spiraled downwards. And yours kept going up. When did it first click that you had a chance to be a pro?
Oh man, honestly, since the beginning, like soccer was just my favorite sport out of all the sports that I played, and I always wanted to play a professional sport. I didn't know which sport at first, but I'll probably say by the time I got to middle school, I was like, I want to take the soccer thing all the way.
Obviously, the hard work paid off. And seen you get taken 11th in the draft, in the MLS draft. I was always rooting for you. I always think it's great to see people you grew up with succeed. What was that feeling like to hear your name called on draft night?
It was so special. It's just like everything that I've been working so hard for. Just to hear my name called and with all my family and friends in attendance and watching back home. Just a special feeling. It's hard to really describe how special and how much it meant to me. But I mean, I think I had a couple of tears of joy run down my face. Just a really big moment and my first step into the professional game.
And we're all happy. You played collegiate soccer at Michigan State. How did that coaching staff prepare you for the MLS?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the jump from high school to college was pretty big just because most of the guys who are going in the college game have played for academy teams. And as you know, that's just a little bit higher level than high school and club soccer. So just knowing that I was kind of behind the eight ball and just knowing that I had to play faster and then just knowing when to use my skill moves and when to just keep it simple. Like I would say in high school, I would just kind of do whatever I wanted in any part of the field in terms of like skill moves and stuff. But the higher levels you get, you got to save the skills and all the fancy stuff for like the final third, and then in the middle, you just have to keep the ball. So I think they really helped me with that, and then just the mentality and how hard it's going to be every day in training to earn your spot and earn minutes.
You mentioned how just the jump from high school to college alone is different. How much different is the MLS jump compared to Michigan State?
Uh, and another big jump. It's just like everyone's faster, everyone's got a better touch, everyone can pass better. So the biggest thing is just making decisions faster. Like I said, everyone's just so much better at everything. So just being able to know what you're going to do and make that split second decision quicker is everything at this level. Because if you wait too long, the passing lanes will close, you'll get double teamed, and the play's gone. So you just got to think faster and have your plays ready.
Now, guys like me and you, we grew up, we enjoyed playing soccer, but it's still not quite as popular as like American football or basketball in America. How do you think we can help make it more popular in America so that kids start playing soccer earlier?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I think I think we got to get on TV more. I think that's a big step. I mean, right now, I think every MLS game is on ESPN Plus, but a lot of people don't have access to that.
Right.
Like you can watch ESPN and you'll catch football, baseball, basketball, and then you'll catch the occasional soccer game maybe once a week for MLS. So it's just not as visible, and I think that's a big thing that's kind of holding us back. And then more more intense training at a younger age. I mean, when you look at the other countries around the world, these guys are like in academy systems when they're 10, 12 years old. So I would say maybe just start developing more skills at an earlier age to really try to catch up to that
Right
Europe
now, I was
standard.
going to say maybe having academies as younger players. So we don't really have an academy system. It's kind of just youth soccer, on a team of, boys and girls. There's not really a difference, and then there's no academy system. So they just kind
Hmm.
of all play together, and then
I mean, yeah, I think for those players who don't have access to the academies, they just got to do a lot of extra work. Like you got to go to training. Obviously, you practice with your team, but unless you're doing extra stuff by yourself, just for the love of the game or to better yourself in the sport, it's just not going to work out. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. You got to make a lot of sacrifices, and the earlier you start, the better it'll be for you.
and, it's kind of a hard question off the top because I know you're doing your thing in New England right now. But if you could play for your dream club, who would it be? You could play for any team in the world.
Yeah. So growing up, my favorite team was Barcelona, and I still like Barca, but like over the last 5 years, I've been a Manchester United fan.
There you go.
Yes, if
Good
I can
choice.
make the jump over to
Good
Europe
choice.
and play in Manchester, that
That
would be
would
sweet.
honestly be my dream come true to see a buddy play for my favorite team that was always Manchester. So it's like if you could get there, that would just be absolutely fantastic.
Yep, just give me a couple more years.
And now, since this is what we do here, I'm gonna start getting into the hard hitting questions. You can't answer, I completely understand, but
Okay, no problem.
so as you know, uh, the MLS it continues to grow each and every year, more and more teams. But
Mhm.
do you think that it's time to add a regulation system to the MLS? Would it breed more competition, or setback preventing that from happening?
Yeah, that's a conversation that I think's been talked about, but I feel like especially right now, it's not something that we can implement. Like I'm not sure how long it took the European leagues to, implement those systems, but just with guys' contracts, salaries, and just the way everything's set up in our league, it just it wouldn't be sustainable long term. Like you can't have like big clubs with these huge stadiums just moving down a league. I mean, I just
Right.
don't think that that's really possible right now. I think maybe 25 years, things could change. I know there's some USL teams that are building some really big stadiums and
Mhm.
doing some great things. So, I mean, it would be exciting if they could, make that leap. But I just don't think MLS is in the place to do that right now.
Right. Because I know I've always been in favor of a regulation system, especially as you mentioned with the USL, like combining USL and MLS teams. I've always been in favor of a regulation system because I personally
Hmm.
think it'll breed more competition. But as you mentioned, which actually will lead me to my next question, is you said with like cap salary or with cap situations and all that. The MLS is the only, I swear, it's like the only league in the world that has a salary cap as far as soccer goes. And then, so for that, do you think the salary
Hmm.
cap is hurting you guys from expanding?
See, I'm not 100% sure on all the details, but I think it definitely could. Just with players that might want to come into the league, but with the salary cap might not allow it with how much they might be demanding. So yeah, I think if the salary cap was, expanded or they made it bigger, then maybe we can get, bigger players from these other leagues. But I think it's kind of just to keep everyone on the same playing field.
And I forgot to mention, so we're gonna go back up. What does your typical day as a pro soccer player look like?
Yeah. So it's actually pretty relaxed, pretty chill. So I wake up around 8 a.m., leave about 8:30 to get into the facility by 9 a.m. And then practice usually starts at 10. And then we'll have usually do like a video or we'll do like an activation in the gym to get our bodies ready at 9:45. So about, let's say like 20 to 30 minutes of film. And then we'll get on the field, warm up, have a training session. Never goes over like 75 minutes. Then after that, it's stretch down, maybe do some work in the gym, shower, eat at the facility, or just take the food to go. And I'm usually back here by like 1 p.m. in my apartment, 1 2 p.m. So I usually have a lot of the afternoon and a lot of the night just to honestly just to rest up and recover. Like it seems like we have all this energy to like I don't know go out and go get food or go walk or something, but like usually I'm just so tired. I just get back, relax, watch some Netflix, play some video games, just kind of chill and get ready for the next training session or game.
How's that like? How's it look on game day? Because I know like it's not gonna be like that every single day, especially with the way uh, soccer works. You guys have what 2, 3 games a week?
Yeah, especially with how our season's shortened, we have like you said about 2 or 3 games every week. So game days we don't have anything until we don't get to the stadium until an hour and a half before the game. So we don't have any like pregame meals or anything when we have home games, but just get into the stadium an hour and a half early, and I think about 45 minutes before the game we'll start warming up, and then we play. So game days is kind of up to you. I usually always go to Potbelly and get a certain sandwich on game days just because we don't have like a set meal. That's just kind of the set meal that I've been using for home games.
Right, and you mentioned how the season is shortened. How has the whole Corona situation affected not just the shortened season, but the team and facilities and everything altogether?
Yeah, in terms of the facility, we have to wear masks like pretty much all the time. The only time we don't have to wear it is when we actually head out to training. But in the fitness center and the treatment room, just masked 24/7. It's kind of annoying a little bit just
Yeah.
because we get tested every other day. So if someone has any symptoms or anything, we would isolate them and get them quarantined. But we're just, I mean, taking every measure we can. So far, our team hasn't had any cases, so we've been doing a pretty good job so far. So we just want to stay on that trend.
How has going to games without fans been like in during the Corona era? Because I know fans are a big part of soccer. Soccer fans are very, very passionate. So how has having the fans there affected you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think the fans just bring a different energy. Maybe if you're tired towards the end of the game, you hear the fans screaming with more energy. That just kind of even gives you energy. So I think we have to really dig deep now and you know just really focus because it's definitely more difficult without fans. And then whenever I see a game with like fans in the stadium, I'm like, wow, like those were the good old days. Like it's so nice, especially for home games, just to have all that support behind you. So it's definitely been tough, but I mean, for the time being, we're just gonna have to do our best to still have that same intensity.
Yeah, and hopefully we can all get back to going to visit soccer games soon. Because like I said, soccer fans are just very, very passionate fans about the sport.
Definitely, and I'm kind of curious when we're gonna start having fans back because I've been watching some USL games on ESPN Plus, and I feel like all the USL games have fans. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not sure when that's gonna happen for MLS, or what's gonna happen with that. But it'll be
Yeah, I
good
don't
when
either
it
because
is
I know
back.
England and stuff doesn't need other leagues around the world. They don't even have fans back, so it's gonna be interesting to see when those fans come back as well.
Hmm.
And I know going off of that, I know a lot of other European leagues. A lot of their older players come to the MLS, and so the MLS is kind of known as a retirement league. So do you think like that gives a bad rap to the league, or do you think that it's good for the league?
I mean, I think some people will say that, but I think whenever like a guy that was a star in Europe can come to our league, I think that honestly just helps us. I mean, I think Ibra, for example, was a huge success while he was here. And then he's showing he can still do it back in Europe. So, I mean, that shows that guys don't come here just to retire. I mean, I know they're talking about Messi potentially joining Man City, then coming to the MLS. So that would be sweet.
Right.
I mean,
Which is
he,
something I was actually going to get to a little bit later. Actually,
yeah, I mean,
that's
you
big
can
news.
call it a retirement league if you want, but I think whenever like these guys who've had so much success in Europe can come to the MLS, I think that just kind of shows that something's going on in America and they just want to be part of something here that's special.
Yep, and I completely agree. And I was going to say, I know you haven't been in the league too long. I believe this is year two for you. And then,
Mm-hmm.
um, so a lot of European legends you haven't seen a whole lot of them, but just the ones that you have been here for. What have they like taught you?
Honestly, like their composure, just the confidence that they play with is what I've kind of taken from what I've seen. And then they just always make plays when their team needs it. I mean, I know last year we played against DC United twice, and Wayne Rooney both games like did something to help his team win. He scored a penalty kick against us the first time, or they tied the game, and then it was like the 85th minute, 87th minute, he whips in this perfect cross on the free kick, and then they tied the game up again. So, and then Ibra, we were up 2-0 in LA, like again like 85th minute, and these guys scored the bicycle kick. So like, just the way they can just make plays out of nothing and just really, when their team needs it, just to come up in the clutch. I think that's something that I'll take. Just being ready for that moment and helping your team to victory.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are very good, which kind of brings me back to the salary cap thing. Like, do you think that without the salary cap, because you said that in America, in the MLS, we're building something, so do you think
Hmm.
without the salary cap, you'd start seeing more like European legends coming through the ranks of America?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, I think America is like a place that people love to visit, like people that don't live here, and I think um, it's a place that they would love to see what's going on with soccer here. They know it's a big market for them. And I think that if guys come here, they'll like it. And again, it'll just help the MLS continue to grow. And then hopefully in the next, 10 to 20 years, we'll be considered a bigger league, considered one of the top leagues. So I think whenever those European guys can come, I know Matuidi just joined Inter Miami. I think that's another big signing, World Cup winner. Like whenever guys like that can join our league, I think it's great and it gives us more publicity and just shows that even when guys are still, kind of in their primes, they can still
Right.
come to MLS and continue to grow and show what they have.
Yeah, because you mentioned a guy like Matuidi, who I think still is one of the top European talents who still could play at a high level.
Hmm.
Decided to come to the MLS, so I think it's incredible. And
For
so
sure.
you briefly touched on it, but it's a giant rumor.
Hmm.
He rumored to leave with a chance to see. He has a chance to go to the MLS. You personally, where would you like to see him go?
Right now,
Yes, like right, if he was to leave, like today, where would you love to see him go?
anywhere in the world or like in
Anywhere,
MLS.
MLS, anywhere in the world.
Um, Shoot, I'd like to see him play for the Revs. Come play with me. That would be great. But I mean, honestly, I think Man City would be a good club for him. Just to play with Pep. His relationship with Aguero, obviously. And then I think it'll make the Premier League even more interesting this year than it already is. I mean, Ronaldo's done it at all these different levels, all these leagues. So now it's Messi's turn to show what he can do in the Premier League. And I think we'll see who the true GOAT is after this.
Which we'll get to that question. But if Messi did go to the Premier League and join a Man City, would you like to see a Ronaldo return to Manchester United to once again spark that rivalry?
That would be incredible. Um, I would love for them to, continue to battle it out in the same league.
So yeah, if Messi does join a team like Man City, the sister club
Hmm.
is actually New York City MLS.
Hmm.
I was reading that he would sign a 3-year deal with Manchester City and then head to the MLS after those 3 years. Do you think he would just come into the league and just straight dominate, being the guy that he is even at that age?
Yes, yes, I think so. I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, I think he might in 3 years. I think he might develop into more of like a central midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I don't think he'll want to run as much. So, I mean, he'll still score goals, but I think he'll be more of an assist guy when he gets to the MLS.
Yeah, because I think, and do you think like a lot of these like big European legends that come in, like guys like Ibrahimovic and Wayne Rooney, do you think they come in thinking that the competition like isn't good enough and that they're gonna come in with that mindset they're just gonna run the league over and dominate?
I mean, I think they might, but I think they find out kind of quickly that it's just different from Europe. I mean, I know there's a European guy on my team, and he's just saying like the travel here is different. Like there's things you have to adjust to. It's a pretty physical league, and then traveling on planes. Like the longest they do is like a 3-hour bus trip. So now you're doing West Coast trips, and you got time differences. So it's just like a lot of things that you don't really think about that you have to consider. And then you're not always flying private planes in this league. It's sometimes you're flying just a regular flight. So just a lot of different things that they didn't have to really deal with in Europe that might have an impact on the performance on the field. So yeah, I don't think they necessarily really come in and just dominate right away. I mean, I think Ibra did a good job of it, but he's just such a class player. Yeah, I'm not really sure how they feel, but I mean, I think that when they get here, they definitely gain more respect for the league when they leave.
Right, and I think each and every year the MLS continues to grow, and I love seeing European guys like that come into the league, and I hope that more guys take the Matuidi route, and even though they're still
Hmm.
I hope they do come to the MLS because it really is a growing, developing, great league, even though it has the retirement title.
Hmm.
I don't think it's true at all. I just think that guys get to a certain stage, and they might not necessarily be able to play at the highest level anymore. Guys like
Hmm.
me.
Exactly.
I know Ibrahimovic is kind of the exception because he's kind of on the tail end of his career. He came here and then he's still doing big things in Europe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, we're definitely not at the standard of those European leagues yet, but I think just with time, I mean, I think we're in our 25th year, if I'm not mistaken, in the MLS, and these leagues have been around for hundreds of years. So it's definitely going to take some time, but I think we're heading in the right direction.
And I know I haven't really let you speak because I've been kind of throwing questions at you, but like if you could like explain to the audience like I don't know, I guess who Dejuan Jones is.
So I'm from Lansing, Michigan. Grew up, started playing soccer when I was 5 in my local school. Then I started playing for Lansing Gunners. They train. Had some really good years there. 3v3 tournaments, 44 tournaments were fun. And then I switched to this team called Phoenix for maybe 3 or 4 years. Then I switched to TNT Dynamite in, I want to say 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. Played there, played in like 3 state cup finals, but could never win the state cup final. Um, High school, we won 2 state championships back to back for my junior and senior year. Then I was named Mr. Soccer for the state of Michigan and Gatorade Player of the Year. Then I went on to Michigan State, and my career there, I was playing winger. And my final year, or my junior year, went to the Elite Eight, and then senior year, we made it to the Final Four for the first time in 50 years. And then, like A-Train said, I got drafted first round to New England Revolution with the 11th pick. And then that's the other thing we haven't really touched on yet. We had a coaching change like halfway through my first year. And with the first coach, I was playing my natural position, which is winger. And then when the new coach was coming in, the interim coach took over, which was the assistant. And he always looked at me as an outside back. So by the time the new coach took over, I was starting the game at outside back, and I did really well. I started at left back. So by the time the new coach came in, I've just been a defender ever since. So it's been like a year now of me learning and growing and learning how to play outside back, either left or right back. So it's definitely been a journey and experience, but I'm definitely getting better each and every day.
Yeah, so I guess you mentioned that you had a coaching change and a position change. How is the difference of learning to attack more of being an attacker and trying to score goals rather than now you're a defender where you're trying to not let the other team score? What is that transition like?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, there's less, attacking, dribbling on my side and just dribbling in general. So it's more making the right passes and being in the right position. Um, and then just knowing when to get forward, because the way the game's going all around the world is outside backs are getting more and more forward. So it seems like a lot of outside backs now are like former wingers or like former attacking players. So I mean, it is good for me that I can still get forward, but it's just knowing when to get forward, having better positioning, and then just playing against, guys that are fast, just as fast as me, learning when to step, when to play tight, when to sag off, there's a lot of things that I didn't really think about as a winger that I'm learning. So, I mean, I think it's great just for my versatility and just gives me more opportunities to get out there on the field.
And I know, I don't know if you saw, but MLS posted highlights, and there's a highlight of you juking a dude out of his shoes. How does that feel? Like, do you ever think that like you would be in that position to like?
Yeah, so that one was that was my first game ever at outside back. And that was just crazy because, like I said, as an outside back, you can still attack, which is great, which is why I'm still happy, playing outside back because I can still, get into the attack and get forward. So on that play, just took a big touch down the line, and then the defender was close, so I just wanted to chop the ball around him, but he was too close, so he got megged, and then he fell. So I feel sorry for the guy, but I mean, it was a good play. Hopefully I can get more of those clips, more of those ankle
Oh yeah,
breakers,
for sure. Hopefully a couple more goals and stuff.
Exactly.
So like, I know I don't really have access to ESPN Plus, but I try to watch the MLS when I can.
Mm.
What's the rotation on your team? Like, are you a starter all the time, or do you guys rotate a lot, or how's that work?
Yeah. So in the attacking positions, there's usually more rotation. Like the defenders don't change that much. But right now, my role is kind of first off the bench for one of the outside backs. So either right back or left back. Like if someone gets hurt or someone needs a sub, someone's tired, like I can go in either a right back or left back. So that's kind of my rotation right now. So like not a starter, but like in the 18 in the team, and I will start some games. It's just a matter of fatigue and like I said, injuries, suspensions, sickness. Like you never know. You got to always be ready in soccer because things change really fast.
Right. And have you ever experienced like getting subbed in like the 88th minute in a 90-minute game, so you're only going to go in for like a few minutes?
Yeah, that actually happened the other day against DC. I got subbed in the 90th minute, but there's actually 10 minutes of extra time, so I was able to get an 8-minute run out. But I mean, we secured the win, so we came in and did our jobs.
Yeah, so I was just curious how that works, and you like get in there, 88th, 89th minute, and don't really play a whole lot. Like, I don't know if that's really like demoralizing or.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, you just gotta be ready for your opportunities. In this particular game, the score was 2-1. I'm subbing in at defense, and I gotta make sure we, keep it at 2-1. Like I don't want to go on there, then um, we tie the game 2-2. So for me, it's just complete focus. Excited for the opportunity to, get out on the pitch and take advantage of it. Make the plays I need to make to secure the 3 points for my team.
And, again, we kind of touched on it earlier about soccer not really being big in America, and I think a lot of that has to do with Americans kind of think soccer's kind of boring.
Hmm.
Uh, I guess just what do you have to say about people that think it's like, oh, soccer's boring?
Yeah, I mean, for those people, I would say they should try it because they probably haven't tried the sport. There's things to appreciate about it that a casual viewer might not. They might just say there's not enough goals. But I mean, if you're really watching the game, you can see the combination plays. I mean, obviously you work on like formations and stuff and training and like passing patterns. But I think the coolest thing about soccer is just the creativity. I mean, there's no real set plays except for set like free kicks or corner kicks. So it's like everything you're seeing, these guys are doing on the fly. Like if you watch a football game, they're gonna run a play. If you watch basketball, I mean, they'll do some free flowing, but they're gonna run a play. In soccer, it's just free flowing, and you're just seeing guys' creativity, and I mean, you just really don't know what's gonna happen. Like you can see something like you've never seen before in a soccer game, in any given game. So I think for me, it's just, I mean, I love the game, so it's easy to watch. But as a casual fan, you just got to look at the little intricacies that you might, take for granted.
Right, and I think my favorite thing about soccer is there's absolutely no commercial breaks in between. Like I hate in like football and stuff, like they'll score a touchdown, then they're like, oh, we're gonna go to break.
Yep,
So I think that's the
exactly.
thing that's so great about soccer is there's just no commercial breaks. So you're always just seeing what's on the pitch at all times.
Exactly. No time to rest. I mean, there'll be plays where guys don't seem like they're running hard because it's like because we're tired. Like all these other sports, there's timeouts, there's breaks. Like commercial TV breaks, fouls. Stoppages of play. Soccer, like you just gotta go. 45 minutes straight, get through the half.
Yeah, I know you guys get like shortened breaks for like yellow cards and for fouls, but like that as far as like breaks, those are like the only breaks that you guys get throughout the entire half.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
So we
so
got to be well conditioned.
yeah, that can actually lead me into another question I didn't have written down, but yeah, how's the conditioning work for to prepare to play 90 minutes?
Yeah. So they want us. They obviously expect us to do a lot of work in the off season. So when we come in, they want us to be at a certain level. We do it like a beep test, like a yo-yo test, fitness test. And then for the guys who aren't at that level yet, they usually have some built-in extra runs they do throughout the week. But most of our fitness that we do, we try to do while playing soccer. So we'll do like just the type of drills we're doing or the type of activities we're doing in training will, promote fitness gains. And then sometimes we'll do some extra runs at the end. But yeah, I mean, I would say our whole team is very fit, and again, just with playing games, you'll get more fit and more fit.
Right, and I don't know if people know, but in soccer, unlike basketball and football, where you're allowed unlimited substitution, soccer you're only allowed
Mhm.
a certain amount. So does that intensify the training at all?
I mean, definitely. I think most of these guys have been pros for, however long. I mean, at least more than like 3 or 4 years. So they know how to play 90 minutes. Like they've done it, countless times. So they know what to expect. I mean, the normal rule is 3 subs, but with COVID, I think the MLS is going to allow 5 subs throughout the rest of the season. Um, so, I mean, yeah, guys, just have to be mentally prepared to play 90 minutes each game, especially, like I said, the defenders who don't really get substituted out that much. Got to be ready to play 90 minutes.
And I know you said 5 substitutions is allowed with the whole COVID thing going on. You think they will implement that to be a permanent rule, or do you think that once this whole COVID thing clears up, that it'll just go back down to 3?
I think everything is gonna go back to how it was. Like I know one of the rules that we're doing right now is like the water break for like intense temperature. It was definitely helpful in Orlando's heat, but I mean, even when I watched Champions League, they weren't doing the water breaks anymore. So I think by the time we start next season, like the water breaks will be gone. I think we'll be back to 3 subs again.
Does that make it difficult to adjust from, having water breaks and having 5 subs to be able to go back to 3?
A little bit, but like I said, we're used to no water break and 3 subs, so it's kind of like just getting us back on the track of normality.
One last question. I might be reaching here, but
Okay.
you could send a jersey my way.
Oh shoot. Okay. Okay. I got you.
But yeah, other
I
than
got you.
that, I appreciate my guy Dejuan doing this with me. And if you guys can, tune in New England Revolution games.
Sure. All right, A-Train. Appreciate it. Thank you.